He swears he's different. He swears you're special. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself how many women heard those exact words before you? Behind the smile, behind the confidence, behind the way his fingers brush your hand, there may be a past he will never confess. And if you miss the signs, you could be walking straight into a story that dozens of other women have already lived. Stay with me, because the truth you're about to see is not easy to hear, but it could save you years of heartbreak. Psychology teaches us something uncomfortable. The past never truly disappears. It hides in the unconscious mind, in patterns that repeat, in behaviors a man cannot control no matter how hard he tries. What we ignore in ourselves always comes back to rule us. And what he hides from you will eventually surface. That's why today you need to pay close attention. Because once you recognize these hidden signs, you won't just see him differently. You'll see the truth. And once you see the truth, you can never go back. The first hidden sign is confidence that feels too perfect. There is a type of confidence that shines so brightly it feels almost like a spotlight. At first, it's irresistible. His posture, his voice, the way he seems sure of himself in every single situation. Women often mistake this for real strength. But the truth is, this kind of confidence can be one of the clearest signs that a man has been with many women before. It's not the natural confidence that grows from inner security. It's a polished performance, a mask shaped by countless rehearsals in real life. Psychology shows us that the unconscious repeats whatever has been reinforced through experience. When a man has been with many women, he builds patterns without even knowing it. He learns which words trigger curiosity, which gestures spark attraction, which silences create suspense. Over time, he stops thinking about it completely. His body, his voice, his eyes follow a script that has already worked dozens of times. To an untrained eye, it looks like charm, but to a careful observer, it looks too smooth, too practiced, almost mechanical. Here is the difference you need to understand. True confidence has flaws. A nervous laugh here, a hesitation there, small moments of vulnerability that make a person feel real. But when everything flows too perfectly, when every phrase seems designed to impress, when every smile feels timed, you are no longer witnessing spontaneity. You are seeing the imprint of repetition. Psychologists call this the mask, a face a man wears to hide who he really is. Why does this matter to you? Because this kind of perfect confidence is not about you at all. It was not born from a genuine connection with who you are. Instead, it is a universal performance, one he has likely used with many women before. You might feel flattered, but a question should echo in your mind. How many others have heard the same words, seen the same smile, felt the same touch? Think of it this way. Imagine a magician who has performed the same trick thousands of times. When he stands on stage, he never doubts whether the card will appear. His hands move with certainty because repetition has killed uncertainty. The crowd still gasps, but for him, it's just routine. That is what polished confidence often is, an illusion perfected through repetition. And here is the part most women miss. Masks eventually slip because the unconscious cannot stay hidden forever. If you stay close enough, you will notice cracks in this flawless confidence. Maybe a flash of irritation when you don't react the way he expected. Maybe an awkward silence when you don't follow the script he's used to. These small clues reveal that his polished charm is not a reflection of who he is, but of who he has learned to become. Women who fall for this type of confidence often end up feeling replaceable. They realize, sometimes too late, that the magic was never unique. It was just another performance in a long series. That's why recognizing this sign early protects you. It helps you see the difference between authentic confidence and the learned charisma of someone who has played the game too many times. But don't confuse this with hating confidence. A man with genuine inner strength can also be confident, but his presence feels different. His confidence is quiet, not loud. It doesn't need to dominate the room or impress everyone at once. When someone is truly grounded in himself, his confidence flows naturally, without begging for validation. The danger of too perfect confidence is that it often hides emptiness underneath. Many men who chase endless encounters with women are not driven by love or real connection. They are driven by a hunger for validation, for proof of their worth, for escape from an inner void they refuse to face. Psychology tells us that what we avoid within ourselves eventually controls us. And for these men, avoiding the void leads to a cycle of endless seduction, endless repetition, endless charm. So when you see confidence like this, ask yourself, does it feel real or does it feel rehearsed? Does it invite you to know him deeper, or does it feel like he already knows every step you'll take? If the answer leans toward the second, be careful. You may be standing in front of a man whose past is filled with many women and whose present with you is just another chapter in a long, repeating story. The unconscious always leaves traces. That too perfect confidence is not an accident. It is the footprint of repetition. And once you learn to see it, you cannot unsee it. Stay with me, because the second sign is hiding in his words. The second hidden sign is the way he talks about women without any real depth. One of the clearest clues that a man has been with many women is found not in his actions, but in his words. Pay close attention to how he speaks about women, both past and present. At first, his voice may sound smooth, his compliments polished, his charm undeniable. But beneath the surface, you will notice something missing: depth. His words don't carry the weight of real experience. They sound rehearsed, like lines from a script he has repeated too many times. Psychology teaches us that language is more than communication. It is an expression of the inner world. When someone speaks from truth, their voice carries energy, sincerity, and vulnerability. But when someone speaks from habit, from shallow encounters repeated over and over, the words lose their meaning. They become empty phrases, polished on the outside, but hollow within. Listen carefully to the compliments he gives. A man who truly sees you will notice details. The way your eyes light up when you laugh. The way your presence changes the mood of a room. His words will be specific, anchored in the uniqueness of who you are. But a man who has been with many women rarely goes that deep. His compliments are generic. You're beautiful. You're amazing. You're special. They sound good, but they could apply to absolutely anyone. This is not about seeing you. It's about keeping the game alive. Another subtle sign is the way he generalizes. He might say, "Women are all like this," or "Girls always want that." Instead of speaking about individuals, he speaks about categories. These broad statements reveal distance, not intimacy. Despite all his experience, he has never truly invested in knowing a woman at her core. He has learned patterns, but not connection. Psychologists call this projection, the habit of seeing not the real person, but an image shaped by past encounters. Notice also how he speaks about his past relationships. When you ask, his answers feel vague and evasive. It just didn't work out. We grew apart. Rarely does he share deep reflection or honest vulnerability. He avoids the lessons, avoids admitting mistakes. This lack of depth is not a coincidence. It is a sign of repetition. For a man who has cycled through many women, the stories blur together. To keep moving, he stays on the surface. Depth would force him to face the truth he doesn't want to see. Sometimes he even jokes about his past. Instead of speaking seriously about what shaped him, he hides behind humor, Jokes protect him from accountability. They let him shrink failed connections into casual stories instead of meaningful lessons. But behind the laughter lies avoidance, the refusal to face what truly drives his choices. This absence of depth also shows in how he talks about desire. His language stays on the surface: looks, excitement, attraction in the moment. He talks more about appearances than about values or character. His attention stays trapped in the external because that is where all his experiences have stayed. Without inner growth, desire remains primitive. It repeats the same cycle without ever deepening. And his shallow words expose exactly that. Why does this matter for you? Because words are windows to intention. If his speech about women is empty, his connection with you will likely stay shallow too. A relationship cannot grow on phrases that sound good but carry no truth. It needs presence, reflection, and authenticity, qualities that are missing when a man has lived only in repetition. So listen differently. Don't just hear the compliments, feel their weight. Ask yourself, do his words show that he truly sees me? Or could he say the same thing to anyone? Does his voice carry sincerity, or does it echo from habit? The difference is subtle, but once you notice it, you cannot ignore it. The unconscious leaks into everything: gestures, silences, even the smallest phrases. That is why the way a man talks about women reveals more than he intends. His shallow words are not accidents. They are the footprints of a history he cannot erase. And if you learn to read them, you will see the truth hiding behind the mask. If you feel trapped in hidden patterns of love and desire, there is a way to break free. And the link is pinned in the first comment. But before you go, the third sign is one most women completely miss. The third hidden sign is eyes that scan more than they connect. There is something powerful about the way a man looks at you. Eyes can reveal interest, desire, even love, but they can also betray patterns he tries to hide. One of the hidden signs that a man has been with many women lives in the way his eyes behave. Not when they meet yours with depth, but when they scan the world restlessly, collecting glances like trophies. At first, you might confuse this with confidence. He walks into a room and his eyes seem alive, always moving, always landing on someone. He notices details quickly, and it can even make you feel special when that gaze finally lands on you. But soon you realize his eyes never rest. They move from one face to another, not to connect, but to measure, to evaluate, to search for possibility. It's as if his gaze was trained to hunt for opportunity rather than intimacy. Psychology explains that the unconscious leaves traces in behavior that the conscious mind cannot fully control. Eyes are one of those traces. A man who has repeated countless encounters with women develops unconscious habits. His gaze becomes restless, never satisfied with one connection, always scanning for more. To the casual observer, it looks natural, but once you pay attention, you feel the lack of depth. He sees many, but he doesn't truly see anyone. And here's why this matters. Real presence requires stillness. When someone is truly engaged with you, their eyes settle. Their attention rests. You feel seen, not observed. There is a world of difference between a look that connects and a look that scans. Connection makes you feel valued. Scanning makes you feel replaceable. A man who has been with many women often carries this restless gaze, not because he chooses it, but because his unconscious has been conditioned by repetition. Women sometimes ignore this clue because they confuse it with charm. They think he's just social. He likes to notice people. And that can be true, but there is a deeper distinction. Social curiosity brings warmth. A scanning gaze brings evaluation. You feel it in your body. You sense that his eyes are not resting on you, but measuring you, comparing you, silently deciding something. His gaze is not about who you are, it is about what you represent in his inner pattern. There is another layer to this sign. Watch how his eyes behave in moments of silence. When the conversation fades, does he hold your gaze calmly? Or does he quickly look around the room as if searching for an escape? That inability to stay present is revealing. It shows that intimacy unsettles him. He is more comfortable with the chase, with novelty, with the surface. Depth demands stillness, and stillness exposes the emptiness he avoids. And pay attention to how he looks at other women while you're right there. A man who has been with many women often carries a subtle habit of scanning even when he doesn't mean to. His eyes betray curiosity, even temptation, as if his mind is always on alert for possibilities. He may never act on it, but the pattern is there, written into the way he looks. Psychology warns us that what we do not face becomes our fate. The man who avoids his inner emptiness becomes a slave to these unconscious movements, and his eyes reveal the first sign of it. This is not about jealousy. It is not about controlling where someone looks. It is about reading the energy behind the gaze. There is a difference between noticing someone and scanning as a habit. Noticing is natural. Scanning is restless, compulsive, automatic. And it is in that automatic movement that the hidden truth lives. So trust what you feel when you meet his gaze. If it feels like a connection, if it brings calm, it may be genuine. But if it feels like an evaluation, if it leaves you uneasy, if his eyes move more than they rest, see it for what it is. One of the clearest signs that his history is longer and emptier than he will ever admit. The fourth hidden sign is charm that feels practiced, not natural. Charm is powerful. It can make you smile, lower your guard, and pull you closer without any effort. But there is a difference between the natural charm that flows from a man's true personality and the polished, practiced charm of someone who has repeated the same moves with countless women. The difference is subtle, but once you learn to see it, you can never unsee it. At first, practiced charm feels exciting. He knows how to make you laugh at exactly the right moment, how to compliment you without hesitation, how to create small gestures that feel deeply romantic. But soon, you start to sense something mechanical underneath. His words and actions fit together too perfectly, as if they belong to a routine rather than a spontaneous moment. Instead of feeling unique, you begin to wonder, has he done this before? Many times. Psychology shows that what we repeat becomes imprinted in the unconscious. A man who has been with many women carries those imprints in his behavior. Over time, his charm is no longer natural. It is learned, refined, rehearsed. He knows which compliments earn a smile, which stories create intrigue, which touches build closeness. His whole presence begins to run on a script tested so many times that it no longer requires thought. And that's the danger. Practiced charm feels real at first. For a woman longing to be truly seen, these gestures are intoxicating. Yet what makes natural charm powerful is the presence behind it. Natural charm is born in the moment, unique to the connection between two people. Practiced charm is detached from presence. It's less about you and more about keeping a pattern alive. So how do you tell them apart? Pay attention to spontaneity. Natural charm sometimes stumbles. It laughs awkwardly. It missteps. It surprises even the person offering it. Practiced charm, on the other hand, flows too smoothly, too perfectly timed. He seems to know exactly how to steer the conversation, when to pause, when to lock eyes with you in that intense way. Instead of being swept up in authenticity, you are caught in a performance. Psychologists call this the mask, the face a person wears to impress the world. And the problem with living behind a mask is that it hides the true self. A man who has been with many women often perfects that mask so well that he forgets to show what's behind it. His charm becomes armor, protecting him from vulnerability. Here's another clue. Look at how consistent his charm is. With natural charm, energy rises and falls. Some days it shines, other days it's quiet. But with practiced charm, it never stops. Every moment is designed to impress. Every silence gets filled. Every opportunity is used to show off wit or appeal. It feels less like connection and more like a show. Ask yourself honestly, do you feel truly seen, or do you feel like part of an audience? Practiced charm wants admiration, not intimacy. It wants applause, not closeness. And though it may make you feel special in the moment, deep down you sense that the same lines, the same smiles, the same gestures have been used many times before. The unconscious reveals itself through patterns, and practiced charm is one of those patterns. A man who hides behind endless seduction is usually avoiding his own emptiness. Instead of facing what lives inside him, he perfects the art of winning attention. It may look impressive from the outside, but it often hides a lack of depth within. That is why recognizing this sign is vital. If his charm feels like a show, too smooth, too calculated, too perfect, pause and question it. Authenticity leaves room for imperfection. Performance does not. And once you see the difference, you will know whether you're facing a man who is truly present or one who is simply repeating what has worked on countless women before. The fifth hidden sign is the way serious promises always slip away. One of the clearest signs that a man has been with many women is how he handles promises. In the beginning, he can seem completely convincing. His words are full of certainty, and he makes you believe he is ready for something serious. He talks about the future, about possibilities, about how different you are from everyone else. But when the moment comes to turn words into action, the promises start to fade. They slip away quietly, as if they were never meant to be kept. Psychology explains that the unconscious repeats whatever is unresolved. A man who has lived through countless shallow encounters learns to survive on temporary emotions. He has never truly built depth. So when he speaks of commitment, it feels unnatural to him. Deep down, he resists it. That is why his promises dissolve. They are rooted not in honesty, but in performance. He is acting out what he thinks you want to hear without the ability to actually deliver it. At first, you may not notice. His confidence makes the promises sound believable. He knows how to use the right tone, how to hold your hand while he says it, how to look into your eyes as if he truly means it. But behind the surface lies avoidance. His history has trained him to escape before responsibility arrives. He may not even plan it consciously, yet patterns stronger than his will pull him away from everything he promised. Pay attention to timing. Men who repeat shallow experiences often make big promises very early. They talk about the future when the bond is still fresh, almost too quickly. It creates a sense of intensity, but it's not genuine. It's strategy. It keeps you invested while giving him room to leave later without facing real accountability. The quick promise is the twin of the quick withdrawal. Another clue is vagueness. When he talks about commitment, his words lack detail. He says, "We'll travel together," but never chooses where. "We'll live together," but never decides when. The future stays blurry, like a dream that's always postponed. Vagueness protects him from responsibility. If there are no details, there can be no broken promise, only a plan that never arrives. Psychology describes this as a split between the face he shows and the truth he hides. On the surface, he wears the mask of the committed man, the partner who sees a shared future. But underneath lives the truth: fear of depth, fear of responsibility, a restlessness that refuses to settle. Until he faces that truth, his words will stay empty, slipping through your hands like sand. You may also notice how easily he justifies broken promises. "I'm busy, things changed, it's not the right time." These excuses sound reasonable at first, but over time, a pattern emerges. Every serious step gets delayed. Every promise gets weakened by a new excuse. What looks like bad luck is actually repetition. His inner patterns have built a rhythm of escape that activates whenever commitment becomes real. This matters because promises are the foundation of trust. Without them, intimacy cannot grow. A man who consistently lets promises slip is telling you, without words, that he is not ready to invest deeply. His history with many women has taught him to live in moments, not in futures. And unless he chooses to break that pattern, the cycle will continue. How can you protect yourself? Watch not only what he says, but what he does when the time comes. True commitment shows itself in action, not in talk. Authenticity doesn't need big declarations. It reveals itself through consistency. When a man's words and actions align, he is whole. When they don't, his promises will always slip away. This sign is not meant to make you paranoid. It's meant to make you aware. Words are easy. Actions are costly.